tide. When the storm gets rough, we ain't gonna hide. Rock and get us swilling, but it won't touch me. Only love around, that's how it's gonna be. Keep moving forward, never looking back. The truth's in the power, it's an unstoppable track. In the city lights where dreams collide, we hustle through the night, fire in our stride. Whispers in the dark can't dim my glow. With rhythm in my soul, I'm ready for the show. We break the chains, rewrite the rules. In this concrete jungle where nobody's fools. Unity sings louder than the lies they scheme. In the heart of the struggle, we dare to dream. Keep moving forward, never looking back. The truth's in the power, it's an unstoppable track.
Another Queen Ahmadiyyah production.
Haze on the corner, they talking real loud. Spreading no light, trying to bring me down. Enemies lurking, but I won't back away. Got a vision in my mind, I'm here to stay. Put my crew beside me, we rise like a tide. When the storm gets rough, we ain't gonna hide. Rock and get us swilling, but it won't touch me. Only love around, that's how it's gonna be. Keep moving forward, never looking back. The truth's in the power, it's an unstoppable track. In the city lights where dreams collide, we hustle through the night, fire in our stride. Whispers in the dark can't dim my glow. With rhythm in my soul, I'm ready for the show. We break the chains, rewrite the rules. In this concrete jungle where nobody's fools. Unity sings louder than the lies they scheme. In the heart of the struggle, we dare to dream. Keep moving forward, never looking back. The truth's in the power, it's an unstoppable track. Haze on the corner, they talking real loud. Spreading no light, trying to bring me down. Enemies lurking, but I won't back away. Got a vision in my mind, I'm here to stay. Put my crew beside me, we rise like a tide. When the storm gets rough, we ain't gonna hide. Rock and get us swilling, but it won't touch me. Only love around, that's how it's gonna be. Keep moving forward, never looking back. The truth's in the power, it's an unstoppable track. In the city lights where dreams collide, we hustle through the night, fire in our stride. Whispers in the dark can't dim my glow. With rhythm in my soul, I'm ready for the show. We break the chains, rewrite the rules. In this concrete jungle where nobody's fools. Unity sings louder than the lies they scheme. In the heart of the struggle, we dare to dream.
All right, hello everyone. Thanks for tuning back in once again to the original Queen Ahmadiyyah Shakur show. I'm your host, Queen Ahmadiyyah Shakur, and this is your morning wake-up call. So as you're coming in, please feel free to go ahead and subscribe to the channel. If you haven't done so already, be sure to click that notification bell and click the word all so you're notified each time the Queen Goddess goes live. Okay, so hello, Leon. G from the land is here. Nessa G, Jasmine. All right, let's get into it. Diddy in Dallas. All right, Perplex is in the house. Khalid Herleen. All right. Everybody hit that like button. Okay, be sure to like and share. Thank you very much in advance. All right, I see you, Queen Sam. We the people is in the house. Okay, so let's get into it, Claudette. All right, so before we get started, hey, Treese. Before we get started, let's have a brief word from our sponsor at 12 Tribes.
Do not buy 12 Tribes on Earth hair growth oil and hair magic elixir unless you want super healthy, gorgeous hair that grows. They have a whole line of amazing hair growth products, including hair growth leave-in conditioner spray, hair growth shampoo, hair growth spray, and hair growth butter. I'm starting to sense a theme here. They include quality natural ingredients. They smell amazing, and you can see the results for yourself. So if you're looking for healthy hair growth for your natural or relaxed hair, try 12 Tribes on Earth today.
Okay, so don't forget you can purchase 12 Tribes hair oil at Etsy.com. Just look for Lisa Crafts. You can also find it at Walmart.com. And don't forget that she sells a beard oil. Okay, so with that all being said, let's get into it. All right, I see you, Broken Silence. Dragon Lily's in the house. Okay, so I reported you all last week. Hold on, I just got a text came through. I reported you all last week how Laura Loomer called Little Miss Crockett a black ghetto bitch, okay? And people are none too thrilled. And she's been getting dragged all over this internet, okay? And that was last week, but they're still dragging her right now. And Megyn Kelly had so much to say as well. Okay, she's been going in on black women, clearly a whole hater, but so she's been getting dragged too. But the interesting thing is that she hosted a Turning Point event. Okay, Charlie Kirk's organization. So they're trying to get things kickstarted. And so they let her host the event, and it was a disaster, if you ask me. Okay, it was a disaster. So we're going to get into it. And there's actually a video that went viral where this student just really went into her, and she just got caught in her lies. And like I told you all before, Charlie Kirk was lying too, giving misinformation and whatnot. And some of these students are smart enough that they're going to know, okay, because they're going to be paying attention. And also, there's a young man that it seems to me that they're grooming or prepping him to be the next Charlie Kirk. And we're going to get into that because I find that especially interesting. I mean, it looks like they're working pretty fast, full steam ahead, but I don't know how it's going to turn out for them because according to what I saw with Megyn Kelly, didn't look like it was going so great. Okay, so likes up, everyone, please like and share. Thank you in advance. I'm going to show a few clips. All right, I'm going to show just a few clips from Megyn. Okay, here we go. All right. Perplexed that that's not going to turn out well for him at all. Well, it sure didn't turn out good for Megyn Kelly, I'll tell you that much.
I do disagree, I think, with some of the things that you have said, but I also disagree with some of the things that have been said about Israel in regarding to what Candace Owens has said, what Ben Shapiro has said. But I feel like I do agree with you in the sum that you sometimes will take a more nuanced approach and criticize them or agree with them. But I wanted to ask, I disagree with the Republicans. I feel like they're being vague about Israel. And so I wonder if places, I'm asking for specific people, do people like Bill Ackman, Robert Shillman, or AIPAC, are they influencing American politicians? Are they influencing popular YouTubers? Are they influencing people like Fox News? And God forbid, are they influencing our president and the decisions that are made?
That you might be the one person in America that agrees neither with Ben Shapiro nor with Candace Owens. I don't understand where you are. So I don't know if what the answer to that is, whether Bill Ackman is influencing President Trump on Israel. I mean, I think President Trump, especially in foreign policy, has come to his own conclusions. Look what he just said about Ukraine yesterday. He's suddenly flipped the switch and he was like, I think they could win the whole territory back. What? And then some, he said. Wait, what? Trump is actually, you can see his evolution as he deals with foreign policy. And that's a job of one, really, right? Because the commander-in-chief is going to have to make a lot of these calls that are going to get people killed. His goal is to stop killing people and to save lives, which is really laudable. So I think Trump is making his own decisions on Israel. I think Trump is very pro-Israel, very pro-Israel. And I would say Trump and I have the same position when it comes to Israel. We're on Israel's side. However, having said that, Trump said this a year ago and I said this thereafter. It's time to wrap it up. It's time. It's been too long, and Israel is losing the support of its closest ally and most important ally in the world, and that's us. They've already lost the Dems. They've lost the independents. They've lost Republicans under 30, and they're starting to etch away at Republicans over 30. And that can't happen if Israel wants to maintain its standing in the world. So that's my view.
Real fast, quick follow-up. Thank you. Do you think rich billionaire Jews or the Israeli government influences American politics?
Did you say rich billionaire Jews? Yes. Whoa. I don't like when people call Jewish people Jews after the word billionaire. It sounds kind of uncomfortable. Makes me feel uncomfortable.
Makes her feel uncomfortable. You can tell she's very scared about what she's going to say and how she's going to say it, and trying to make for sure that she doesn't cross any borders, okay? Perplexed, an excellent question posed from the audience. I absolutely think it was. But she's uncomfortable. Yeah, she's trying not to do what Kanye did. Please pay attention.
And hell, why not? If you're a rich billionaire, whether you're a Jew or you're a Christian, you're a Muslim, why wouldn't you try to exert your influence? I mean, that's what they all do. They all try to buy the president, all of them. One of the reasons Trump got elected was because he had independent money and he promised us that he wasn't loyal to anybody except for us, and we believed that promise. And so far, I feel like he's done pretty well on it.
Okay, Megyn, stop the cap. Stop the cap. That she knows that makes no sense. Okay, none whatsoever. That makes absolutely no sense. Now, with that all being said, let's go to the next clip. This young lady asked her about her pastor not bringing up Charlie Kirk in church after he died. And here's what Megyn Kelly had to say.
I think if your pastor didn't say anything about Charlie Kirk on the Sunday after he was killed, you need to find a new church. I think that's a sickness. Who could Christians find that was better than Charlie as an evangelist for their beliefs, both faith-based and political? Most Christian conservatives lean right. Most understood that Charlie was talking about the gospel in a way that was inspirational, even if they didn't share his politics, and would like to hear him more on the faith-based issues. And so I don't understand that there could be a pastor in America who wouldn't at least embrace that side of Charlie and take a moment to pay their respects to him. I think it's disrespectful to him and to the millions of people around the world who felt inspired by him and feel inspired by him right now. So I think shame on them. Find a new church.
Okay, so find a new church if your pastor didn't make you bow down and praise and worship Charlie Kirk, who's a mere man, by the way. Okay, I don't think the church is supposed to engage in idolatry. And that's exactly what these people are doing with Charlie Kirk. They're worshiping him and praising him. Okay, this is like idolatry at its finest, as far as I'm concerned. Okay, and Megyn is just adding to it. Now, here we are again, where a student from Virginia Tech wants to know about Nick Fuentes and his claims against Israel. So let's get into it. Likes up, everyone. Please like and share. Thank you in advance.
There's a lot of videos and claims out there, like conspiracy theories, like Nick Fuentes talks about them a lot, about Israel. And some of them seem kind of true, but it's hard to find true information anywhere. Where would you find good, true,
Great question.
Information?
That is a great question. I'm sure you guys all have this experience, right? Like, what's real? You hear people who you respect, like, saying stuff that sounds like crazy. And you're like, did we land on the moon? Oh, right? They can make you rethink anything. And it is an ongoing battle. It's going to be a really hard battle for all of you because you're young and you're going to have years of dealing with this. My advice to you is to find one or two people who you know you can trust. And you'll know those people because they will tell you the bad news for your side. They will not just keep whispering sweet nothings in your ear every day when you turn on their podcast or the news or what have you. And once you find those two people, stick with them. Don't trust a platform that has an agenda that's got corporate backers. You know, when I was at Fox, I did not realize that we were funded by Pfizer, but we were. There was a reason we weren't allowed to say certain things on the air. You tried to talk about what was causing autism and whether it was a vaccine back in 2000.
Let me tell you all something. First of all, I find it very interesting that she's trying to go there now that she's in the predicament that she's in. Okay, she was perfectly fine going along with it at first, so don't try to drag it down now. That's all I'm saying. Now let's go to this other clip. And as you all can see, it doesn't appear that she's doing very good with these students, okay? It doesn't appear that she's doing a very good job, is all I'm saying. And I really don't understand why they got her to go out there and be the host anyway. I know she's done it before, but at a time like this, I would have thought they'd send the strongest person, and clearly it's not her.
And I really wanted to ask about your thoughts on Barack Obama. He's like my favorite president of all time. I think he was great for his country. It was really nice to see a beautiful black man in the office. And where would you rank him among like modern U.S. presidents? Where would you put him?
Sorry, I didn't hear the landing.
Like, where would you rank Barack Obama out of the last few modern presidents? Like, for me, he's number one. Like, where would you put him?
I would rank him in the 21st century at the very bottom. Yes, correct. At the beginning of Trump, 15, 16, we were coming off of Obama. And I used to say at that time, I think Obama is a good man, but a bad president, and that Trump is a bad man, but a good president. That's what I thought initially. And I completely had that wrong. I actually think Obama was a bad president, and I genuinely think he was a bad man. I know, sorry, controversial. And I think Trump is a good man and a good president. And the thing that I really object to about the Barack Obama years, having lived them and reported on him nightly on Fox News, is that I don't think we've had a more divisive president. People think President Trump is divisive. Let me walk you back through the Barack Obama years, okay? The first thing he did, was he seized control of 1/7 of the US economy and shoved down our throats Obamacare, which the American people did not want and did not have majority support. It was the first time in our history that it had ever been done, and the country was angry. He lied repeatedly, saying, if you like your doctor, you can keep if you like your plan, you can keep your plan. It was a lie, and he knew it was a lie at the time. I used to give him the benefit of the doubt, saying he was mistaken about his own health care plan, because that's the kind of person I used to be. And then it became clear that he knew it was a lie, because the facts came out he knew it was a lie. So he lied intentionally and took people's doctors away, and people died. He got in there and said, elections have consequences. Too bad. I'm doing it. He's the one who injected race into the society at every turn. We never had a president do this before. And not just because he happens to be of mixed race. We never had a president take cases, legal cases, and I was a lawyer, practiced law for 10 years before I went into journalism, take legal cases that are in the news and comment on them in a way that's very provocative and stirs up anger, like the Trayvon Martin case. He's the one who made that a new practice of getting ahead of the evidence and dividing us on that issue. We could be here all night, but those are a couple of examples. So.
What did you think about this? Let me know in the comments. Please leave.
It's amazing that after all this time, they're still lying about Trayvon Martin, and some silly Black people go along with it. Okay, at the end of the day, they want to act like Trayvon was not a victim. And in fact, he was the one stalking and hunting George Floyd. Isn't it sad that we live in a world where people, just act like the truth is lies and lies are the truth, and they're peddled as such? Now, with that all being said, let's go to the video that made her go viral. Okay, the video that made her go viral where the student went all in on her. Okay, likes up, everyone, please like and share.
I stopped what I was doing, cleaning my beautiful palatial home, as well as prepping my ingredients for my amazing seafood gumbo that I'm going to be making this evening, to remind y'all, MAGA Republicans, that Turning Point USA is on life support. They don't have anybody to push the movement forward. They knocked Charlie Kirk on his ass through his neckline, and now they stuck with people like Megyn Kelly, and we know she can't handle it. Megyn had an event here, and the young white boy over here called her and the man with the dead hand out.
Who contributes to the rhetoric that got your friend Charlie killed. We saw his rally recently. He said, "I hate my enemies." Stephen Miller said similar things. How can you support him when he contributed to what got Charlie killed?
Assumes facts, not evidence. What you said is not true.
70% of political violence is committed by Republicans.
Okay.
Look it up.
That's not true.
DOJ just pulled it. The DOJ just pulled it from their website. DOJ just pulled the study from their website because they're delusional.
That's not true, because
they just pulled it. Look it up.
Once you pull
DOJ pulled it from their website.
Once you pull the crazies out of there, it is overwhelmingly left-wing violence.
Google it.
We have had
every single person in the audience. Google it right now.
This is how we get here. So first of all, let me take on the first part of the premise of your question, that it was President Trump's rhetoric that led to an assassin killing our friend Charlie Kirk. That's a blatant lie. It's a defamatory blaspheme, and it's inappropriate in this setting.
That's not what I said.
We know. Yes, it is.
No, I said he contributed to the political atmosphere.
Well, then you have no point. Then your point is utterly empty. Contributing to the atmosphere. This guy was, let's just make clear. This guy was motivated by leftist ideology. We know it from the bullet casings. We know it from the Utah governor. We know it from his own mother. Yes, we do. Let's be really clear on that.
Even if that's true, so then you're saying because, let's say this guy's a leftist, even if that's true, does that make it okay for the sitting president of the United States to incite violence against liberals?
The President of the United States has not accepted violence against liberals. The President of the United States made a joke at the Charlie Kirk Memorial, which was funny and
That young brother told everybody in the room to Google it. Bars. That MAGA brand is dead. I shouldn't say that. The MAGA brand is about to be Charlie Kirk. Well, I don't want to say that either. Y'all ain't gonna make it. Y'all ain't gonna make it.
Okay, now y'all heard that. Now here's the thing. That young man flamed her. Okay, see how she got irritated and upset because she was caught in her lie. Okay, she was caught in her lie. So let's talk about it because he said that the DOJ just removed it from their website. Did they remove it from their website? Well, of course they did. He told no lies. Okay, he told absolutely no lies at the end of the day. And she was just sitting there looking like a fool. Okay.
Do I need to bring the receipts? Do I need to bring the receipts, baby girl?
Okay, I'm sorry. Make it all make sense. But let's go to it. Like stuff, everyone, please like and share. Thank you in advance. And why, oh, why did the DOJ delete the study from their website? Why did they do it? Okay, and that's not the only report. There's numerous reports. Okay, there are numerous reports, just so you all know. All right, numerous. Bottom line is, let's see what the report says. That's what I want to know. What does the report say? Because it has to say something for them to have wanted it removed. Here's another report right here saying the same thing. So the young man knew what he was talking about. Okay, there's another one. Like I said, I have several. All right, so Megyn Kelly is just a liar who lies, quite frankly. And so here's what they say. DOJ deletes study alleging rise in far-right terrorism in the United States. And didn't I tell you all that, of course, it's the right committee, most of these acts of terrorism? Didn't I tell you that they're most likely to be the mass shooters? It was one of them that shot Charlie Kirk. It was two of them that attempted to shoot Donald Trump. Okay, it was one of them that just shot up the school. All right, there's no lies detected. Now, anyway, here's what it says. The Department of Justice appears to have deleted a study which documented the frequency of far-right violence in the U.S. from its website. The removal was first reported by 404 Media. Now, there is an archived listing of the study available online, but it no longer appears to be hosted on the Department of Justice's Office of Justice Programs page where it was previously. Wonder why they took it down. What do y'all think? A spokesperson for the Department of Justice declined to comment on the article, so they didn't even want to say why they removed it. Sounds sketchy to me. Now, why is this important? Well, I'm so glad you asked. You see, at the end of the day, it matters because the reported removal comes after the assassination of Turning Point USA founder and conservative activist Charlie Kirk, okay, who was fatally shot during a speech at Utah Valley University on September the 10th during his American comeback tour. Now, the murder and subsequent reaction from individuals across the political spectrum and media sphere have sparked a conversation about political rhetoric and free speech. So on Tuesday, U.S. Attorney General Pam Bondi said that threats of violence are federal crimes under the U.S. Constitution as part of a governmental crackdown on so-called hate speech. Now, the night Kirk was killed, President Donald Trump began an address to the nation where he expressed horror at Kirk's killing. The president pivoted the blame to the radical left for the assassination, though the investigation was and is ongoing, and at that point, authorities had not identified the shooter. Saying for years, those on the radical left have compared wonderful Americans like Charlie to Nazis and the world's worst mass murderers and criminals. This is Trump. This kind of rhetoric is directly responsible for the terrorism that we're seeing in our country today, and it must stop. which I find also hypocritical and contradictory because this is exactly what the right does. They spew these same talking points to the left. And I don't hear the left doing this to them. They're full of crap. Okay, now the Office of Justice Programs currently has a message titled Notice on its page, which reads, the Department of Justice's Office of Justice Programs is currently reviewing its website and materials in accordance with recent executive orders and related guidance. During this review, some pages and publications will be unavailable. We apologize for any inconvenience this may have caused. Now, the study was titled, What NIJ Research Tells About Domestic Terrorism. Now, the opening sentence reads, militant, nationalistic, white supremacist violent extremism has increased in the United States. It continues to say, in fact, the number of far-right attacks continues to outpace all other types of terrorism and domestic violence extremism. That's what the study said on their own site. Okay, so I think it's fair to say that Trump and his cabinet and everybody else on the right who's lying, okay, and saying that the left is the cause of political violence, well, they're just all cap. Okay, they don't want to take any accountability as per usual. And they're really using reverse psychology because everything they're accusing the left of is what they're absolutely guilty of. Okay, the document said that far-right extremists have committed far more ideological motivated homicides than far-left or radical Islamist extremists since 1990, mind you. This isn't just something that just started. It's been with them in the head, okay? It said that this includes 227 events that took more than 520 lives, and said that far-left extremists committed 42 ideologically motivated attacks, which took 78 lives. So yeah, that's a whole lot more on the right. Okay, they can tell all the lies they want and try to paint these fictitious narratives, but if you really do the research, then you find out the truth. And that's the problem, because a lot of people on the right, they just don't research, because most of them aren't that smart. Okay, now it is not exactly clear why the study is not currently available on the website. The notice posted on the website does make clear that there is currently a review about content underway. Now, Utah Republican Governor Spencer Cox, at a press conference on Friday, said this is certainly about the tragic death and political assassination of Charlie Kirk. But it is also much bigger than an attack on an individual. It is an attack on all of us. It is an attack on the American experiment. It is an attack on our ideals. Wonder what he's talking about when he says the American experiment. Says the radicals on the right oftentimes are radical because they don't want to see crime. The radicals on the left are the problem, and they are vicious and horrible and politically savvy. They want men and women's sports. They want transgender for everyone. They want open borders, the worst thing that happened to this country. See how this is all just hate-fueled speech. This is all just hate-fueled speech. I mean, even if you don't want these things that they agree to, there's a way to express that without being hateful, I would think. D. Major says, Trump did say he loves the poorly educated. Well, of course he does, because those are the people that's easy for him to fool. Trump cannot fool, and his lies don't pass the smell test with people who have critical thinking skills and even common sense. The only people that believe Trump's rhetoric are idiots, just like him. So yes, beloved, that's absolutely why he favors them. Thank you for your insight into the topic and your contribution to the channel. Peace, love, and blessings. Now, the radicals on the right oftentimes are radical because they don't want to see crime. And the radicals on the left are the problem, they say. They're vicious and horrible and politically savvy. They want men and women's sports, and they want transgender for everyone. They want open borders, the worst thing that happened to this country. No, I'm sorry. The worst thing that happened to this country is Trump, okay? It's literally Trump. Now, former President Barack Obama, during an interview at the Jefferson Educational Society in Pennsylvania on Tuesday, said, we're certainly at an inflection point, not just around political violence, but there are a host of larger trends that we have to be concerned about. I think it is important for us at the onset to acknowledge that political violence is not new. It has happened at certain periods in our history, but it is something that is I'm sorry, hold on. But it's something that is anathema to what it means to be a democratic country. Now, what's next? The discourse about Kirk's murder, political violence, and the broadness of free speech is ongoing. Lawmakers, government officials, the media, and general citizens continue to discuss last week's events, the ongoing effects, and potential ramifications. Okay, so this was about a week after Charlie Kirk's death. And the DOJ decided to take down that study, and because of Charlie Kirk's death being done by someone who was on the far right. Yeah, that's exactly why they took it down. Okay, because that was not going to help them to paint their narrative, right, that they've clearly been trying to push since the man passed away. Okay, please pay attention. Now, with that all being said, let's go back to some of these videos where they're dragging Megyn Kelly. And then we got to talk about how they're dragging Loomer. And then we're going to talk about the young man that they're prepping, in my opinion, to replace Charlie Kirk. Okay, let's get into it.
Beyonce in this jeans outfit. And I have to say, my own reaction to it was, especially on the heels of the Sweeney one, it's a fail because it doesn't have what the Sweeney ad has, which look how fake this is. That's not Beyonce's hair. It's not even Beyonce's hair color for the listening audience. It's blonde platinum. It's obviously a wig. She does not have blonde platinum hair. It's mostly straightened. The breasts are enormous. The shape is extra curvy. She's got extreme makeup on. It's not even trying to be natural beauty. And which Beyonce is, in my view, a completely artificial creation.
Megyn, sweetheart, I want you to understand something. Installing unblended, choppy, mustard-colored extensions into that head of yours is no different or better than a black woman putting on a wig or putting in a sew-in. We know what K-tips are. My mother worked in a predominantly white hair salon for the majority of my life. Y'all are not fooling anybody. Matter of fact, next show that you do, put that hair up into a high ponytail. Let's see what it gives. And if you really want to do your big one, I want you to turn around and show the back so we can see the kitchen, so we can see them little pellets holding onto them little thin pieces of shit that you call hair. Secondly, if Beyonce is not natural, you need to go and ask for some advice because there is some FFS that can be had over there. There's some gender affirming care that could be received. And it's no shade. Megyn Kelly really gives white woman reject. Like, she's not giving a Candace Swanpool or Margot Robbie type of tea. And she's probably recognized that her entire life. And she can't punch up at the white girls who are much prettier than her. So she punches down at the pretty black women because she understands that she can leverage anti-blackness and racism, and it resonates and is effective amongst her base. Because what could she possibly say about a Candace Swanpool or a Margot Robbie? I can guarantee you her white counterparts would choose those two 100 times over, especially the men, before they ever chose her. Now, zooming into Beyonce's breasts and talking about how big they were with Charlie Kirk, and also mentioning her curvy body is very Sarah Bartman coded. If you know, you know. You guys have been historically obsessed with the black female anatomy. So much so that there are some of y'all who have taken on simulacrums of the black female aesthetic and made entire careers off of it. All of that in a bag of chips, but I want to circle back to the beginning. Sydney Sweeney is not a natural blonde. Here's a picture of her as a child. Megyn Kelly is not a natural blonde, at least to the tune of what her hair looks like now. So we all faking the funk, huh? Moral of the story is leave Beyonce alone. You're just mad because you can't and never will be the sex symbol that Beyonce was and still is. Nobody is looking at a Megyn Kelly picture and being like, There is something about a black woman being more beautiful and more successful than you that just ruffles your feathers. You need to unpack that, mamas, because it's giving jealousy, turning saints into the sea. Anyways, comment your thoughts down below. Feel free to read this lady for filth in my comment section. I approve.
Megyn Kelly offended Oprah Winfrey when she criticized Oprah's interview with Kamala Harris. On her radio show, Kelly said, quote, "I miss fat Oprah. Oh. She was just genuine. Now this thin Ozempic Oprah has lost, along with the pounds, her heart and her sense of authenticity."
She had the guts to say, "I miss fat Oprah." God dang.
Why would you pick a fight with the most popular woman on the planet?
Because that's her only move. She ain't got no friends. True. So all you can do is pick on the most popular person. I did it in high school. It got my ass beat.
Bonus question. Who can tell me what cosmetic procedures make it?
And by the way, Megyn, let me just say something. Deal with your own house and tell your husband to stop looking at my husband across the room. It's weird. Okay? I never take glee in anyone's downfall. I didn't take glee in Megyn Kelly. I'm talking about Megyn Kelly. I didn't take glee in her downfall when she was fired from NBC.
And really what's happening here is when one cannot generate light on one's self by oneself, they may find it fine just to bathe in the reflective light of someone else who actually is successful.
I am actually embarrassed for her that she does what she does. And so I think that when people hold up a mirror to you, that sometimes you just need to look in that mirror and go, you know what, maybe they're right. And so let me just hold up a mirror, because she's saying that I did this or whatever, but here's a mirror. These are the times, some of them, not all of them, that she has attacked just me, has used me for content and to resurrect her career after she got fired. This is just some of the times that she's attacked me. You will rarely find a headline of me attacking or calling Megyn Kelly out, except for when she got fired and I had to analyze it. Maybe people would like you, and the women would like you more if you weren't such what you said about my former colleague. And by the way, Megyn, let me just say something. Deal with your own house and tell your husband to stop looking at my husband across the room. It's weird. Okay?
Did y'all hear that? Sounds like Megyn has other things to be worried about and concern herself with rather than Beyonce, okay, and Jamel Hill and Oprah. All right. I guess Dawn told her. How embarrassing. Okay, she needs to go hide her head under a rock. But let's not stop there, because other Black men had something to say about her as well.
Check out this clip and let's talk on the other side.
We don't feel like ourselves. We haven't felt like ourselves in a while. And I'm sorry to get political, but I'm just going to be honest. We haven't felt like ourselves since Barack Obama. I just think he was such a slick snake. You know, he was this affable guy who was like wearing good suits and looked the part and sounded the part and dressed the part, but was so divisive in his messaging. The left, they look at you like, when you say this, they don't know what you're talking about. It's like, because you don't pay attention to the other half of the country. You only pay attention to your absurd news sources, which spin and spin and spin to protect Democrats, especially if they're named Obama. He's the one who started to inject race where no one had been doing it.
Existing while Black upsets racists. Pointing out when you are upset about something while Black upsets racists. Calling racism racist upsets racists. And to be clear, I made a video last week and I said one of the reasons why we're in the spot that we're in right now is because America hates women. And I also want to be very clear that one of the reasons why we're in the spot right now is because America hates Black people. And America has always hated Black people, especially when we wouldn't just do what y'all wanted us to do. But y'all hated us even more when one of us actually represented the country. The day that Barack Obama got elected was the day that white supremacy decided that it was not only going to take over, but it was going to burn the country to the ground before it ever let someone who looked like me be in that seat again. So I'm so glad that Megyn Kelly is actually saying the part out loud that the very existence of a Black president is when she believes that this country stopped being itself. And it did. There's a book by Ta-Nehisi Coates I have somewhere around here, but it's called We Were 8 Years in Power. Ta-Nehisi Coates does in that book is he draws a correlation between the 8 years of Reconstruction and the 8 years that Obama was president. And the reality is, for those 8 years, while white supremacy still tried to do everything it could to tear Obama down, we still had something. We had hope. And when Black folks have hope, white folks will do whatever they can to squash it. So congratulations, Megyn Kelly. This is now the country you wanted. Aren't you happy? Thanks for coming to my TED Talk.
It's that damn Barack Obama. Oh, his smooth ass, slick ass words. He was just always wearing all these good ass suits, looking good, smelling good, looking the part. all friendly and good-natured and easy to talk to. Ooh, that motherfucker, I swear it's his fault. If I could, I'd give him a piece of my mind. If I had the time. Ooh, I just want to talk to him. Could somebody just call him for me? Ever since his ass came in, just shoving everything down our throat. And when I said they would likely start blaming Barack Obama soon, they said I was tripping.
Why did Megyn Kelly just seem like she was getting turned on as she was explaining why she got problems with Obama? It was like, he was just such a affable guy. He just always wore good suits and just looked the part. But he just was so divisive by always shoving things down our throat.
My goodness, I absolutely couldn't agree more. I literally think that she has a crush on Obama. Okay? Because what did Obama ever do to deserve it? Now that was hilarious. Okay? Those last two were hilarious. Okay, so now, that all been said, let's talk about Trump and Laura Loomer trying to go in on little Miss Crockett. I mean, it's the nerve of them for me. And, the sad thing is, there was a man, you can tell he's a patriot, and he clearly was flabbergasted and hurt by how Trump made a fool of himself and the entire country during his UN speech. I mean, the poor man literally wanted to cry. Okay? I had to send him like words of encouragement in his DMs. Okay, I'm not even joking. I literally did. But we'll get to him in a second. But let's get to what Trump had to say about little Miss Crockett. Let's slow down some.
Didn't understand why this morning he went on Truth Social and started this attack with you, saying that you're a low IQ individual, something we've heard him say about Charlemagne the God recently, but you're a low IQ individual, and that you need to take the test, referring to the competency test, which, by the way, is different from an IQ test. That also seems strange. But why this attack this morning, seemingly out of nowhere?
It's funny that you point out that he doesn't even know the difference in the test that he takes in an IQ test, yet he's the one that's suggesting that I need an IQ test. Not to mention, I mean, based on the fact that my daddy isn't the one that got me into my schooling, and the fact that I have a little bit more education than he does, meaning I have more earned degrees than he does, I don't have time to play games with him. And the fact that you are the sitting president of the United States, and for whatever reason, you are waking up before I'm even awake on today so that you could try to drag me on your bootleg website, like, it doesn't even make sense to me. Like, why is it that people take him seriously? And then the bad part is that when we get 4 years from now and it's time to elect somebody, unfortunately, the entire country will look at whoever is running on the Democratic side, and they will have one bar that they use to say, you've got to meet this standard or this level, yet you allowed this fool in. Frankly, anybody can be president after him. I mean, we're talking about somebody with 34 count convictions of felonies, in addition to the fact that somebody who literally does not know how to govern or doesn't want to govern, doesn't want to do what's right. So every time you look around, he's invoking emergency powers. And frankly, if you listen to him, you would be concerned not only about his mental acuity, but you also would be concerned. I'm not concerned that he's an unintelligent man. I know he's unintelligent. That part is clear. But like, I'm wondering also, like, is it dementia Don that we're getting? Is it just dumb Don that we're getting? Like, I don't know, but there is a problem. Like Houston, we have a problem.
So
listen, my constituents don't have any concerns, but if he wants to do a test, yeah, so long as it's real people that's administering, not the bootleg doctors that claim he was perfect.
I didn't understand.
Yes, please.
Jasmine Crockett recently.
Jasmine Crockett. Jasmine, remember what I said? Is she a relation to the late, great Davy Crockett? I don't think so. Jasmine Crockett, let me tell you, before you even ask, she's a very low IQ person. I mean, if we ever had to pass an aptitude test, that's the one should take one because she shouldn't even be in the crowd. So I have no idea what you're going to, but I don't think we should waste our time. This is a low IQ person who I can't even believe is a congressperson between her and Ilman Omar and the group. You know, I met the head of Somalia. Did you know that? And I suggested that maybe he'd like to take her back. And he didn't want her. He said, I don't want her. Okay, what else?
Medical center, and I aced it. I got every one of all those questions right. Now it's time for them to take a test. Medical center, and I aced it.
Now y'all know he's sitting there lying, talking about he aced it. Okay, Trump, please have several seats. All right? Please have several seats. Now here's the thing. Dana Bash clearly hit a button or pushed a button when she asked Little Miss Crockett about the things that she said about Trump, like if she felt like those things were stoking violence per se. And the answer that Little Miss Crockett gave her was epic. And my whole thing is, Dana Bash, why are you asking her about what she said about Trump? Well, we all know that the right says a whole bunch of hateful things, and the president included. Okay?
Let me ask you, because I do want to play a couple of statements that you made earlier this year. Okay.
Unfortunately, we have someone that is occupying the White House, and as far as I'm concerned, he is an enemy to the United States. They want to show that they are loyal to this, you know, I don't even know what to call him. I've called him so many things, but this wannabe Hitler for sure.
And to be clear, the president has attacked, other people have attacked you in his orbit, maybe not him personally. But do you have a responsibility as an elected official not to raise the temperature, but rather lower the temperature, particularly when there are people out there who listen to elected officials all over the place who are not well, who use that as a way to instigate the political violence that you are calling out?
I think that my responsibility is to be transparent and to be honest. And the reality is that we are living in a time in which this administration and this regime is not interested in making sure that people understand history. We need to understand why they are so problematic. And so I am using that language because it is accurate language. When we see the consolidation of power, when we see them trying to chill speech of jokesters, when we're seeing all of this, that is a playbook out of Hitler, and I won't deny it. Like, these are the facts. But one of the things that I've never done that the president has done consistently is called specifically for violence. He has said, oh, beat that one up. He has said those types of things. We know that Charlie Kirk was saying things about who should live and who should die. I have never said those kinds of things. And I think that those things are the ones that are really, really dangerous. And even still, some of that will still be protected. We know that we still have laws that are on the book. There's certain speech is not protected, that it does cross over when you are inciting violence, such as what we saw on January 6th. When you are doing what we consider to be a terroristic threat of some sort, where it's a matter of, I'm not just saying it, but I have the apparent ability to carry that out. But me laying out historical facts, just like they don't want to talk about the fact that slavery was real in this country and that my people were enslaved and dragged and raped and abused, and they don't want to account for any of that. They don't believe in reparations. No, I think it is okay for me to understand history and communicate in a very clear way about why we should feel as if there is a concern. And when we swear an oath, which is what that first clip was, we swear an oath to the Constitution to protect against all enemies, foreign and domestic. And so if there is someone that is evidencing themselves, such as the president, who is going out and says, yes, I will take a $400 million plane from a foreign government, or is engaged in receiving crypto that we cannot track in exchange for, say, giving away chips to Saudi Arabia. No, we absolutely need to understand how these things could cause us harm. Or when he's cozying up to somebody like Vladimir Putin, it's not only a problem for us, but it's a problem for our allies. When you have somebody like Poland that is like, yeah, this is what Russia's up to, and the president...
Okay, so she said a whole mouthful, okay, and not one lie was detected, all right? At the end of the day, honey, I don't think anybody can tell a lie about Trump. He's done it all as far as I'm concerned. And then, like I said, the nerve of Dana to question Jasmine about what she said about Trump after all the wicked, nefarious things that Trump has said about others. Okay, and speaking of Trump, as I said, one patriot was so disgruntled. Okay, basically, like I said, I thought the poor little man was going to cry because Trump made such a fool out of himself and embarrassed the entire country. Okay, please pay attention.
I just finished watching Trump's speech at the UN, and this would be the point where I'd normally hold up a coffee cup and say, I hope your coffee's as good as mine. Hell, I hope it's better. Because I really do wish good things for people, but I can't do that right now. Because I can't drink coffee right now because, and this isn't hyperbole, watching that speech made me physically ill. It was humiliating to the extreme. It was just humiliating. Trump, before the entire world, sat there and got almost everything wrong. I mean, it's just ridiculously stupid things, like he said China loves to build windmills and sell them to everybody else, but they don't use them themselves because they know they don't work. China leads the world in wind farms and wind energy production. Just the basic lack of understanding of everything from the Paris Accords to, and then he was so rude to everyone and such a pompous ass, and his just his verbal style was pitiful. I have seen 10th graders give better speeches. The entire World Media Organization is going to slice that speech up into every humiliating segment, and they're going to play it to their people all over the world. You know, I talk to 7 to 10 million people a month right now. And a big part of the Texas Paul Ride or Die community is global. And I just want to take a second to apologize. He is not us. We are not that. We are not imbeciles. We are not clueless people. We are not a dumb people. This person may have been elected by morons, but we as a people generally, it was a mistake to allow this to happen. People got way too comfortable. I'm sorry. I am just sorry.
That's his little heart. He's so sweet. Okay, Mel said he looks like MAGA, but he isn't, though. He didn't vote for Trump. Okay, leave that sweet little man alone. He likes to drink his coffee and say nice things to people every day. Okay, that's what he does. But he was so saddened by Trump's foolishness, okay, and him embarrassing the whole darn country. He said he was literally sick to his stomach. I'll tell you the truth. I was sick to my stomach, too. Okay, from laughing so damn hard. Because I'm like, Trump, are you serious? Now, if you all remember, I told you the same thing that he just said last week. I told you that Trump got everything wrong, that he made a fool of himself. Okay, he didn't even know what the hell he was talking about. I told you all that he just made a complete idiot of himself. Okay, and I told you all how China leads the world in wind energy production. Okay, and Trump didn't have a clue. Talking about, oh, China wants us to use windmills, and they don't even... What? They don't even use them. Basically, I'm paraphrasing, but that's how stupid he sounded. That's basically what he said. It's just all sad, but this is y'all's president, and this is who some of y'all picked. Okay, so don't cry now. All right, y'all said that he looked like MAGA. Mel said he looked like MAGA, but he isn't. Mel, some of the people who look like MAGA look just like me and you. Or some of the people who are MAGA, shall I say, look just like me and you, beloved. They look just like me and you. Okay, sad to say. Now, with that all being said, Let's continue about Laura Loomer, because they went in on her. Now, y'all know she had audacity, the gall and the gander and audacity to call Little Miss Crockett a black ghetto bitch. Y'all know I had gone in on her. But it didn't stop there because other people went in on her too. So let's get into it. I mean, I don't know what she was thinking. First of all, Little Miss Jasmine clapped back. All right. Let's go to that first. Likes up, everyone. Please like and share. Thank you in advance.
I know that some may think that I am, younger than I am. But just so y'all know, I am 12 years older than Laura Loomer.
Say that. Right, right.
Okay, so Little Miss Crockett is actually 12 years older than her. And I think Laura's only like 32. She looks so old. She looks horrible for her age. And she's got the nerve to talk about somebody else. Like, make it all make sense. Okay, make it all make sense.
Bobblehead, don't you ever talk about my old lady like that. I know you ain't talking about nobody ghetto when you walk around looking like Jigsaw. You should not ever fix your BBL-filled lips to ever speak about Jasmine Crockett ever again a day in your life. You do not have an education. You got a head full of helium. You don't have half of the educational credentials that Jasmine Crockett got. You got a head full of helium, a heart full of hate, and a face full of BBL meat. I don't ever want to hear you talking about nobody ever again. You look like you snuck into a human body. You look like a lotus or something like that. Just something out of Gears of War that just snuck up from the deep depths of hell. Like, you come out every, 17 years or something. You big caravan head cicada. I don't ever want you to talk about Jasmine Crockett ever again. What the fuck is wrong with y'all? Y'all don't even look at yourself in the mirror before you start to... Ain't nothing... Do you know where the term ghetto came from? It came from your heritage. Look it up. Bible.
It hurts my heart that we have ghetto black bitches who hate America serving in Congress, talking about Jasmine Crockett. Okay, Lord. You know, I won't even talk about how this is you in your 20s and this is you at 32. I guess all them, injections aren't doing your skin any favor. And what about your lips? I mean, you went from this to bam, this. Tell me you're trying to emulate a black woman without telling me you're trying to emulate a black woman. Not to mention, the nose job. Speaking of that, nose hole might be bigger than the back hole. Or you have it more in the front than in the back. I mean, just give it a couple years and you're gonna age just like Trump. Now, speaking of ghetto lore, I noticed on Google your address is blocked off. Don't worry, I'm not gonna put it out there. But there's this thing called Google Earth where, I can see your backyard. And in your backyard, you got an above ground pool. Now, that's not ghetto. Then I don't know what ghetto is, because your neighbors clearly have underground pools. And if you're going to live in a neighborhood like that, I think you should upgrade to something that's not ghetto. I don't know. Is it just me, or is that ghetto? Oh, and last thing, Laura, don't come from Jasmine, because we're going to roast you and I will drag you straight to hell. Dos.
Laura Loomer having more smoke for Jasmine Crockett than she does Spirit Halloween is funny as fuck. Bitch, they are selling your face and calling this shit the Loomer Goon. On Twitter, mad at black women because you asked your surgeon for the Kim K special and they fucked your shit up. That ain't our fault. Calling people ghetto as if your culture didn't originate from hot dog water. Let's stop. And I was a little scared to make this video out of fear that you might be standing at the edge of my bed at 3 a.m. But you know what? YOLO. You felt ugly and insecure, and the only space that you were ever welcomed in was one that only liked you because of the color of your skin. People that cannot find friends, people that cannot find spaces where they can fit in life will do anything for any type of attention that makes them feel better. Before Laura obtained her many surgeries, she was your average, regular, schmegular, degular white girl. Not really anything to offer in the looks department, not really anything to offer in the brain department, not really anything to offer in the fashion sense. The only thing that she seen that may have been of any value was the color of her skin. So she pandered to hate groups out of #1 jealousy and to make herself feel better. Don't be like Laura, because it hasn't gotten her far.
We're gonna.
Bad Botox isn't the only thing getting under Laura Loomer's skin. After her racist tirade on Twitter against Representative Jasmine Crockett didn't go as planned, she took to her podcast to make sure you heard what she said.
Wants to be, I don't know, like this caricature, right? Like this ghetto boothang, like, hey, look at me, I'm some gangsta black and, you know, I'm about to pop a cap in yo ass and, you know, we're gonna fight the white man and the patriarchy and I'm about to go get my hair did and, you know, look at my nails. Like, she just talks like filth.
For someone who looks... And the thing is, I feel like you are trying to get Jesus to be mad at me. You know how hard it is to continue to be nice to you? Oh, sorry. I forgive you.
She said, it hurts my heart that we have ghetto black B-words who hate America serving in Congress. These tweets are childish and they're an embarrassment to mankind. Laura Loomer is an embarrassment. Disrespectful. Now, despite all these horrible things that she said about Jasmine Crockett on a social media platform and doubled down, I hear crickets from the right. Just 2 weeks ago, a matter of fact, on Sunday, all them folks was crying at a stadium talking about, look what hate creates. Look what it does. But ain't got a damn thing to say, no condemning of these horrific messages, disrespectful messages, not to Jasmine Crockett, but racist towards African Americans, and ain't a black Republican saying nothing. Ain't a Republican saying nothing, not condemning it. This woman is a close confidant of Donald Trump, and he has not said a word. So for y'all to sit here and complain and moan about what the hell Democrats don't do, about what we not get in our communities, for us to condemn and be mad at Chevy Johnson and be mad at all the local politicians and black politicians, but your ass stay silent when this white woman is making fun of your dialect, making fun of the way that we speak, the way that we communicate, and y'all want to stay silent? Shame on you. You rather kneel down and kiss the ass of the white man than stand up for the sister. And a lot of y'all ain't gonna say nothing about it, but I will.
Okay, that young brother said what he said at the end of the day. And Laura Loomer thinks that she's, you know, can say and do whatever. She's emboldened because of her close ties to Trump. Okay, and that's what that is. But let's continue.
Okay, so Jigsaw here has decided to be really racist, which is not anything different for fucking Laura Loomer. I mean, this is a woman that they had to kick out of the White House because she was too clingy to Donald Trump and everybody started saying that they were fucking. She has decided to go after Jasmine Crockett, call her DEI Shaniqua, as well as other things that I will display and not read, who grifts off of right-wing losers to pay for a lot of plastic surgery. Jasmine Crockett is a fucking lawyer. She has a Juris Doctorate degree, as well as a bachelor's degree. She is way more qualified than most of the Republicans, white Republicans. Jasmine Crockett is far more qualified. This is why I say racism is stupid. Because no matter the qualifications, these racist fucking white people still don't think they're qualified for their position, regardless of how many degrees they have or how much more education they have. Racist fucking Nazis like Laura Loomer think there's no possible way a black person, Latino person, Asian person could possibly be more qualified than them. And this just proves my point. You're white and you're not racist or an anti-racist like myself, I highly suggest you start speaking the fuck up. Okay, so Jigsaw.
Hey, could someone please get this to Laura Loomer? I don't have Twitter or the desire to visit her at Halloween Horror Nights. Hi, Laura. Now, when I first saw you saying terrible, terrible things about Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett, my first thought was, now I know Mrs. Two Asses is not talking shit. Do you remember this day? You ran into me and my friends on the Hill and you kept giving me really dirty looks. Meanwhile, I just could not stop marveling at the fact that your 2014 pixie pants somehow gave you a top butt, a bottom butt, and yet no butt at all. I would say it's a scientific miracle if y'all believed in science. And before I really get into it, let me also just point out, you love calling Jasmine Crockett ghetto, right? DEI this, Shanika that. And yet, you would never call me ghetto, which I find interesting, right? Because Jasmine and I, sure, we both talk a lot of shit, and we both say things in ways that people are maybe not used to hearing. But unlike Jasmine, I don't have a law degree, didn't even get into law school. In fact, I have never been a member of Congress that was elected by my constituents. So really, in all senses of the word and the world, Jasmine is a way more impressive and esteemed individual than me. But you would never call me ghetto because also, unlike Jasmine, I am white. And you only call her that because she is black, which is racist. And I know you don't give a shit. So this is me not giving a shit. Do you talk about the ghetto so much because that's where you get all your injectables? Because my God, I'd heard of back alley abortions. I didn't know they were also doing back alley Botox. Laura, listen to me. Put the Juva down. Okay? Give the Restylane a rest. Disport is not, in fact, a competitive sport of seeing who can put the most units in their face. I see why you may have been confused. And look, girl, I get it. I also love injectables, Botox, fillers, vaccines. Y'all always forget that one. But you can do that without looking so embalmed. And also, your jokes just aren't funny. They're really played out and trite. I imagine they hit really well with men who still buy Hooters swim calendars and like no one else. Jasmine is a brilliant, competent elected official with biting wit and intellect, and you just look like you bite people. Okay, so maybe sit this one out.
Yep, I jumped my ass on here today just to be a petty bitch. Just to ruffle y'all feathers just a little bit more today. But Laura Loomer, I'm gonna need you to bring your old let's play a game looking ass bitch to the front center of the motherfucking line. Because baby, you out here talking that shit like you got balls of steel or something. But I can guarantee you this, that shit you said out the side of your neck about Jasmine Crockett, baby, I can guarantee you wouldn't last 20 minutes in the same room with her. Nor would you fix your mouth to say that shit while she in your presence. You need to be mad at your doctor, baby, because he got you out here looking like straight as jigsaw. Do you understand that that surgery didn't do nothing for you but enhance your ugliness? To be ugly on the inside and to be ugly on the outside, baby, that is a horrible combination. Horrible. Are you little mad or you big mad? Because you could never be Jasmine Crockett. You could never hold the credentials that she has. I said what I said. I meant what I said. So disrespectfully, Laura Loomer, you and your mama, sit your narrow ass down somewhere.
Now, as many of you all know, I normally don't address people whose skin look like it was left on a shelf in a back alley meth-sponsored grocery store, but here we are. It was brought to my attention that there is a filler-faced platypus online spewing hate about black people and in particular Representative Jasmine Crockett. And to that I say, you're weak. And what I do know is that my ancestors should have drowned yours instead of breastfeeding them. But then you look like one of those people that came from an inbred family that couldn't even afford to have one of us. You were okay in a one-room shack bumping uglies with your cousin as long as somebody gave you a gun or a horse and told you you were an overseer. When you go home at night and take off your purge mask, you still feel empty. And you have no other recourse than to resort to racism because that is who you are. You can't take intelligent black people around you because you are not smart yourself. So the last thing I want you to do is to come for any one of us and think that we're not going to say something to you. That's the problem right there. And with this whole country, when you all have nothing else to say, you resort to racism. Honey, you don't know what a ghetto black bitch look like. You ain't never been around one or you wouldn't even be here. Okay? So watch your mouth and watch your tone. Bye.
My goodness, when she told her you don't know what a ghetto black beat is, you never met one because you wouldn't be here. Ooh, honey, that was the icing on the cake for me. Okay, and when the blonde pretty girl told her that she didn't have to look so embalmed, I am done. Okay, those last three read her for filth, as they should have. Okay, as they should have. Now, with that all being said, let's talk about Charlie Kirk's replacement. At least that's who I think he is. Oh, no. I'm sorry. I almost forgot. Before we get to that, let's go to Laura Loomer's Twitter because black women were giving her the blues. Okay, they were just giving her the blues. Let's get into it. Look at her, poor little thing. Okay, she describes herself as a pro-white nationalism and proud Islamophobe. Describe her in 2 words. I'll go first. Botched surgery. Okay, they're letting her have it. Please pay attention. This lady says Laura Loomer is 32. I'm 56. Your move, Nazis. Now, this lady looks a whole lot younger than Laura, okay? Look at that face. I mean, it literally looks like it's made of plastic. Now, someone said that they should make a mask for her for Halloween. They do have Halloween masks for her. No cap. Okay? Laura Loomer, I'm 32. I'm sorry, Laura Loomer is 32. I'm 41. Having a heart full of love instead of hate does wonders. These people look way younger than her. She looks a whole mess. And this is likely why she's so angry. Everybody has just been going in on her. Okay, the caucasity of Laura Loomer to tweet something so racist and hateful with a face like hers. I was shocked when I found out that Laura is only 32 years old and not 47 years old. Okay, make it all make sense. And then somebody says Laura Loomer is a man and a Mossad spy. Arrest him immediately. When I tell you they have let her have it, this lady right here says Laura Loomer's 32 and I'm 40. Now this one looks like a kid. She says Laura's 32 and I'm 34. Honey, she looks 18. 16 actually. Okay, so I just wanted y'all to see that, honey. They have read her for filth. All right, maybe she'll think twice the next time she wants to try to go in on somebody like Little Miss Crockett. Okay? Now, with that all being said, let's talk about Brillin Hollyhand. Because Brillin Hollyhand is going to be the next Charlie Kirk, it appears. Let's talk about it. Following the assassin, and remember, you heard it here first. Now, I've been doing my research, you see. So, following the assassination of his mentor, Charlie Kirk, 19-year-old Brillin Hollyhand has become a central figure in the conservative youth movement. Despite increased security threats, he's now leading a nationwide campus tour to continue Kirk's legacy. Hollyhand balances his Auburn University studies with national politics. Okay, political responsibilities, representing a new generation of conservative leaders. The 19-year-old Brillin Hollyhand has become a central figure. Now, with that all being said, he first gained attention in 2018 when he interviewed Kirk as a 4th grader. The encounter marked the beginning of his involvement in national conservative activism. Since then, he has built a large-scale media following and founded the Truth Gazette, a conservative political website. He has launched a podcast that aims to give young conservatives a platform to share their views. This is a Nepo baby, okay? This is a little rich kid born with a silver spoon in his mouth who goes around to these college tours in a private jet, okay? Hollyhand is currently a freshman at Auburn University in Alabama. He has been active in politics since a young age. They say since he was 11. Okay, his college education runs alongside his political work. Campus authorities now escort him to classes due to security concerns following Kirk's death, as reported by the New York Post. Now, despite his youth, Hollyhand has already taken on significant roles in political organizations. In 2023, he was named co-chair of the Republican National Committee's Youth Advisory Council. Okay, sounds like this young man's making waves. This position allows him to influence politics and initiatives aimed at engaging young voters. Okay, a rise in the conservative movement. Let's talk about it. So Hollyhand's rise has been closely tied to Kirk. The young activist credits his early interviews with Kirk for giving him exposure and guidance. Over the years, Hollyhand has built a reputation as a conservative voice among young Americans. The New York Post reports that he has nearly 500,000 followers on social media and has participated in public events across the country. He has often emphasized work ethic and persistence in his activism. Hollyhand's approach combines public speaking, social media outreach, and organizing campus events. These methods mirror the strategies that made Kirk a prominent figure in conservative circles. I want you all to pay attention. This is who they are absolutely prepping to be the next Charlie Kirk. Aldrich said she looks like some strings should have been attached as she performs on the stage like a ventriloquist dummy. That's a good one. And she seriously does. Okay, so now with that all being said, listen to this. So, following Kirk's death, Charlie Kirk was shot and killed on September the 10th during Turning Point USA's American Comeback Tour at Utah Valley University. Hollyhand told New York Post how he had spoken to Kirk hours before the shooting and credited him for his consistent mentorship over the past 8 years. After the assassination, Hollyhand's security risk increased significantly. Now, his threat level has reportedly tripled. He now has a personal security team. Campus authorities at Auburn University escorted him to classes, and family and friends have advised him to pause public appearances, but he's chosen to continue. Now, Hollyhand has announced a 10-stop tour, a campus tour called One Conversation at a Time. The tour will start at the University of Arkansas. Turning Point USA is sponsoring the series, and the tour aims to engage students in discussions about politics and conservative ideas. Hollyhand said that he views the tour as an opportunity to carry forward Kirk's legacy. He believes that public engagement is critical for young conservatives, especially after the death of his mentor. Okay, I want y'all to pay attention because that rhetoric is not going to stop being spewed. They've already got the replacement. They're already grooming him to be the next Charlie Kirk. Okay, looking ahead. Brilliant Hollyhand's career illustrates the rising influence of youth in American conservative politics. From a fourth grade interviewer to a national youth leader, he has built a platform through persistent effort and mentorship. His activities combine digital media, campus outreach, and political leadership. Hollyhand continues to focus on his education while taking on national political responsibilities. He balances college life at Auburn University with public appearances, social media work, and leadership roles in the Republican Party. He represents a new generation of conservatives who are willing to step into leadership roles at an early age. Hollyhand's story also reflects the growing intersection of youth activism and national politics. While his mentor's death has raised new challenges, it has also accelerated his visibility. Hollyhand's future activities, including the campus tour, will test his ability to navigate security risk while maintaining public influence. Y'all hear this? Do you all hear this? I want y'all to pay attention because clearly, that's the new Charlie Kirk. Okay, so what do y'all have to say about it? What do y'all have to say about it? But hold on. Hold on just a second. I do believe I have a video of this young man. Let me see if this is. Like and share. Thank you in advance. Here we go. And I want you all to pay attention because they have been pointing the finger. Some people have been pointing the finger at Erica Kirk about certain things. And I want you all to pay attention to that as well.
Nothing is changing, but I want to preface, we're not awkward. We're not like weird. We're not cringe. We're not going to be tweeting as if it's him. That's tone deaf and really disturbing. And anyone who does that's like morbidly off. Yeah. That's not what's happening. What's happening is the team is keeping this alive because we.
Now, what's interesting for me is that she said that something was morbidly off. If they would be tweeting things from Charlie Kirk, tweeting as if they were him, that would be morbidly off. Yeah, that would be morbidly off. I have to agree with her. But I also think that it was morbidly off when she posted that video of her kissing the hands of his corpse and all of that. That to me was morbid. But let me continue.
We have Charlie in each and every one of us. And it is going to be continually the North Star of the conservative movement, of the voice of the youth, of the voice of the base, and that will not end. And the members only will continue to grow, and that will be the tight-knit network of family members that supported and loved Charlie and the team. And that's what it is. It's a family and a team. And this is not going anywhere. It's just not. We need to be able to have people have a show where they can ask questions. Hey, I'm up against this. What would Charlie say? And we play a clip of what Charlie said a month ago, a year ago. We have decades worth of my husband's voice. We have unused material from speeches that he's had that no one has heard yet. We have Sunday specials lined up to the brim because my husband was so intentional about making sure that there was enough content. Always.
He made sure we recorded everything.
Everything.
He would not do a speech unless we could get the video and the
100%. So we have speeches that no one's heard of. We have interviews that.
Now I want you all to pay attention. She said they have hundreds of speeches of Charlie Kirk. Do you all believe that? Or do you think that possibly they could be creating things with AI? I'm not saying they are, but I have questions. Okay, but here's what someone had to say about her. Now, we're going to get to that video of the young man, okay, Brilliant Hollyhand in just a second.
Bro, I hate to say it, but I'm starting to have suspicions about Erica being a honeypot handler. A few months ago, I scrolled way back on her IG and remember thinking it was weird how vain worldly she seemed. Not really giving Christian, modest woman of God. I don't know. It's just giving villain to me, to be honest. Something in the eyes. She won Miss Arizona in a pageant owned by Trump, has sketchy ties to an orphanage in Romania, and was even apparently married before. Something is definitely off.
Okay, I don't know if that's all supposed to be suspicious because she was married before or whatever, but at the end of the day, people are now bringing things up about her into question, which I find interesting. Okay, now I haven't done much research on her, but I may have to look into it. Now let's get to this video of Mr. Brilliant Hollyhand. Brilliant Hollyhand talks about carrying on Kirk's legacy forward. Let's get into it. I'm going to share my screen.
Playing host to someone once very close to Charlie Kirk, the man the FBI says was assassinated due to his conservative and Christian beliefs. And this young man says his goal is to continue encouraging real conversation on college campuses. KNWA's Gabriella Phelan sat down with this teen. And Gabby, he told you he feels called to carry on these conversations.
Doug Brylan Hollyhand is a 19-year-old political commentator. He got his start in politics at age 11. He says Charlie became a mentor to him after he agreed to join him on his podcast, even at such a young age. Now, Hollyhand is working alongside Turning Point USA to pick up that microphone.
My friend Charlie was one of the most down-to-earth personal people that I've met in this business. Charlie, genuinely was a friend and mentor.
That's how 19-year-old Brylan Hollyhand says he'll remember his friend, Charlie Kirk.
I want people to remember him as the bold, courageous man of faith that he was, because that's what he wanted to be remembered as.
The two became friends after Kirk took a chance on a young kid.
I first started paying attention to politics in the 11th, at 11 years old in the 4th grade. And I started a podcast. Now, I'm going to be honest with you, not a lot of people wanted to come on the 4th Graders podcast, but Charlie did. And Charlie was one of my first ever guests.
Brylan says ever since that day, Kirk became a staple in his life, never further than a text away.
He took the time to actually mentor me. And that's what's so hard about this whole process. He was a mentor. He was a friend for so long.
But just 2 weeks ago, that all came to a halt.
I found out live on Fox for the rest of the world as they brought me on with the Fox News alert. Charlie Kirk's passed away. Now joining us is Brylan, his friend, to react to it. And that was my initial reaction. And so the whole nation saw me, become emotional on live TV because that was genuine. It wasn't put on. That was my friend.
Leaving him with what felt like an endless amount of questions.
Okay, what do? Do we cower in the corner? Do we get silent? Do I get in a ball and cry for the rest of eternity, or do I stay strong for Charlie? And do I talk about his life and legacy the way that he should be remembered?
Yet he says his calling was clear as he worked with Turning Point USA, the very organization that Kirk launched, to build a new 10-stop college campus tour.
My calling is to do this. What man meant for evil, the Lord is now using for good. And out of this tragedy, we have to stand united. We have to stand boldly. And it would be super easy to put down the microphone.
Starting Thursday night on the University of Arkansas campus.
And I feel like now is the important time to get back out on campuses, to come to a place like the University of Arkansas, to reach out to the next generation. We called this.
Okay, so what do you all think? What do you all think? Chris Vesey said Southern Youth Pastor. Okay, Nene said he's suspiciously joyful. Not suspiciously joyful. Let me see what else you all are saying about the young man. Kelly said he looks like Ted Haggard. Mel said they start recruiting them when they are young as heck. Exactly. Okay. Randa said investigate Hallahan, see if he was behind the CK unaliving to take his place. Well, I don't think he was, but I think some people certainly were. Okay. I don't think that he was necessarily. So with that all being said, let's continue. And we're going to wrap it up in just a
One
minute.
conversation at a time tour. That's on purpose. I came up with the name because we need to heal the country and heal the divide in this nation. One conversation at a time, just like Charlie taught me in the 4th grade.
Encouraging conversation and even disagreement.
Maybe if they don't agree with me, that's fine. At least we had a substantive conversation, because civil discourse has to come back to this country. And I remember one of the last things that Charlie and I talked about was that the day that civil discourse dies, America goes to a civil war. We can't get to that point.
Brylan says still the goal Kirk set remains the same.
He wanted to come to campuses and spread the gospel and have these tent revivals in the middle of campuses because he felt that that was what was important. And what I want to be really clear is that's what our movement is now. Politics is temporary and faith is eternal.
And as the college freshman moves on to the next tour stop, his hope is to not let the legacy be left behind.
I hope and pray that I can have half of the impact that Charlie Kirk had on this generation of continuing conversations.
Well, Brylan's next tour stop is Monday at Troy University.
Sure, honey, I'm going to tell y'all like this. That young man has got his work cut out for. I don't think that he's going to be well accepted as a new Charlie Kirk. He looks a little goofy to me. Okay, he looks a little goofy to me. Anthony said, oh, really, dude? Y'all are going in. Greta said, sick and confused generation of young MAGA. Chief Jonesy said, gripped. You already know it's a grip. Flint Water said, that dude, Brylan, is going to go over like a lead balloon. Let me tell you all some of the comments. Let's read some of the comments they're saying after that video that we just watched. It says, terrible pick. Okay, matter of fact, let me just share this on the screen so y'all don't think I'm lying, okay? Let me just put this all up on the screen here. Okay, here's what it says. Y'all can read for yourselves. Terrible pick. This kid is smug and insincere, and he just made a video on a private jet. Not good. That's not what a conservative is. Somebody said, the next person said, this guy is not gonna work. Somebody says, emotional on live TV. You were grinning from ear to ear. All I see is a wolf in sheep's clothing, and so do most of us, Brylan. Somebody said, couldn't fight his way out of a paper bag. No real men left. Ooh, honey, they are going in on him. Somebody said, LOL, this kid is dead in the water. Figuratively, not implying he's going to get kirked. He won't have the success. Kirk was more effective because it was more in line with MAGA. He was unapologetic. Was an unapologetic a-hole, and it was funny and relatable to younger men, okay, of that political alignment. This kid is giving off big, pampered, soft, rich kid energy, low-key, possibly closet gay jokes. Should by the way he looks. Abound by the way he looks. This kid will have none of the success, especially after launching his tour, inviting people to join him from a private jet. This was a huge mistake. He will be totally unrelatable to even a lot of the MAGA constituency with that. Huge blunder by Turning Point. Also, LOL. This kid started being mentored at 11. He has his parents' political alignment and was groomed by Charlie Kirk. Lots of people will see this and realize he doesn't have an independent thought towards politics. Ooh, honey, they made some excellent points. Okay, they made some excellent points. Right at the end of the day. But hey, that's their problem, not ours. So all I'm saying, that's their problem. But he actually was greeting people from a private jet, and it doesn't seem as though that went over very well. It's giving Nepo baby. Okay, here we go. Check him out.
Brian Holly here, about 30,000 feet up. We are on the way to Arkansas. So everybody in line at the University of Arkansas to kick off my 10-stop campus tour. We are coming to you right here, right now.
Turning Point USA, with the help of Ben Shapiro, are pushing a new hero. This guy right here. He's a Christian and he's a Zionist, and we aren't going to believe his crock of shit. This 19-year-old taking a private jet, flying around to college campuses. We're really supposed to think that this guy is going to be there for the youth? I mean, the truth is this. What is the agenda? What are they doing? Erica Kirk hasn't wasted any time. She's back in the limelight. She's given these speeches. She's on the Charlie Kirk show. She's
But not only that, he had a team, still does, all of you, that was the sounding board of that. And collectively, each one of you are a piece of his brain. And so what I'm getting at here is the Charlie Kirk show is not going anywhere. My husband's voice will live on. The show will go on. The team is keeping this alive because we have Charlie in each and every one of us. Yes. And it is going to be continually going anywhere. It's just not.
College. Well, anyway. And who cares if people want to criticize us?
This is not going anywhere. It's just not.
$500 million richer, $150 million maybe from Israel now. Let's be honest. We can go down the rabbit hole all we want. And that's what we should do. And who cares if people want to criticize us? I mean, listen, I wouldn't be surprised if, well, anyway, we're not going to buy this shit. He's 19. This is what college students are listening to, this little dweeb. You can tell there's something more sinister here. And they're trying to prop up this guy. Dude, I don't know about you, but this guy probably gets no pussy. He's probably never smoked a joint before or drank a shot of liquor. You can tell a lot about somebody who's never had a good beer. But then again, this guy probably drinks Bud Light.
What's up, America? Brian Holly here, about 30,000 feet up. We are on the way to Arkansas. So everybody in line at the University of Arkansas to kick off my 10-stop campus tour. We are coming to you right here, right now. Stay in line. We have gotten a third room. We have sold out this campus stop 3 times. But we are coming to you. We will fit you in. Students will get priority, but we will make it happen. I cannot be more excited. We are back. We are on the road. We're coming to you one conversation at a time. If you're not at the University of Arkansas, we're coming to a campus near you soon. So check out my tour dates. We'll see you super soon.
Lame. Complete lame. Okay? Complete lame. And that's just the fact. Okay? At the end of the day, what do y'all think? I mean, everything about him seems so scripted. Okay? He's coming off as just scripted. Okay, that's, like I said, that's their problem, not ours. Al Rich said he's a fox, not a wolf. Okay? I absolutely cannot. All right? I absolutely cannot. So anyway, that all being said. Hold on, let's go to this last video of what somebody has to say about him, and then I'm out of here. Like up, everyone, please like and share. Actually, we have 2 more videos. Okay, one man gave his thoughts on Charlie Kirk after this one.
They're replacing Charlie Kirk with, right? He had 210,000 followers, but 0 engagement before he was shouted out by Donald Trump at Charlie Kirk's memorial. Every single tweet is something about Israel. He was getting 15 likes on posts where he had just tuned in to speak on Fox News. That's how astroturfed he is. Here he is posting that America First actually means standing with Israel. His Wikipedia page was made by an editor who's a Zionist, a Surius, and he's getting shout-outs from Greg Abbott and Sarah Huckabee Sanders and other regular politicians. Let's look at some of his Substack. Stop blaming the deep state start delivering results. A third party is a gift to the left, so we shouldn't have a third party. We need to just be Republicans. It's time to start acting like we deserve freedom. His family gets money from working with real estate developers and developing Section 8 housing on their own. Here he is sporting a Rolex at about 20 years old. People say, no, he's not astroturfed. He's been doing stuff since he was like 12 years old. Maybe his family forced him into it, but he didn't build up his own audience organically. Nobody recognizes this guy. I'm seriously chronically online, and I talk to a lot of other people who are chronically online, and they've never heard of this guy before basically now.
Okay. And that's basically true. Okay. That's true. Nobody's really heard of him until now. D Major says many of these people are closeted, allegedly. You know, they may be, beloved. They may be. Okay, I don't really care. Okay, I don't really care. But with that all being said, hold on just a sec. Thank you for your insight into the topic and your contribution to the channel, beloved. Peace, love, and blessings. All right, and so with that all being said, let's go to this next video. This man complaining about Charlie Kirk.
Diddy update. I got a special.
Let's dissect a debate exchange between Charlie Kirk and a black student at Texas A&M, so I can show you exactly what we mean when we say he's a disingenuous, manipulative, performative entertainer who has no intention of actually helping students or advancing political discourse.
Do not say that because of slavery and because of the past, black people have started behind, and the wealth gap has started behind because we have had to catch up because of certain jobs that you can't get, and I'm more likely to be passed over for a job position just based off my name. So what would you say to that?
It's a little noisy, but what the student is asking for is for Charlie to respond to the idea of intergenerational poverty, systemic racism, and specifically slavery, and its historical impact on intergenerational wealth. So how does Charlie respond?
Respectfully, no. We as conservatives reject this idea of intergenerational, holding people back intergenerationally. We're all individuals that can make decisions.
First of all, how convenient for you, Charlie, for a white Christian married multimillionaire as a member of the most privileged class in the most privileged country in human history to believe that people who do not share your same privileged traits at the same time do not face greater barriers in their path to prosperity. How callously brazen of you to stand in front of thousands of people speaking to a teenage black man in Texas and deny his experience as a black man, to deny the experiences of his parents that have been taught to him, and to deny the data on healthcare, school quality, grades and graduation rates, college admissions, hiring and promotions, wage gains, loan approval rates, maternal mortality rates, cancer survival rates, and life expectancy itself. I'm sorry, Charlie, but out of convenience, you do not get to simply reject proven facts corroborated by lived experiences any more than I get to reject the existence of gravity simply because I want to fly. Systemic racism is real, and to tell a young black man anything but that truth is nothing more than malicious gaslighting. How to address this proven systemic racism, governments, universities, and employers attempted to experiment with a set of new policies and processes that seek to identify and neutralize the causes of inequity, to ensure equal access to opportunity and also the opportunity to achieve equal outcomes. And this is where Charlie disingenuously mischaracterizes these initiatives known as DEI.
Here's the difference in worldview. DEI is very outcome-based, meaning that we are going to prevent otherwise qualified white and Asians to be able to get a position because we want to try to even the score. We are opportunity-based. We want to try to make it so that people have opportunity, but if there's different outcomes, then so be it.
Now, to be very plain, what Charlie is saying here is that he doesn't like DEI because leveling the playing field makes it more difficult for people who benefit from systemic privilege to take advantage of that privilege at the expense of marginalized people. At the same time, this is a comically inaccurate description of DEI. It's almost like he doesn't know that it's not the same thing as affirmative action or just quotas, because DEI is in fact the opposite. If you look up these programs, you'll see that these initiatives are actually incredibly basic and almost exclusively input-based. Things like removing names and photos from resumes and loan applications, mentorship programs for people who are members of marginalized communities and who aren't naturally surrounded by mentors, and independent pay audits to make sure that marginalized people aren't getting paid the same or less for superior work. In other words, these programs seek to make merit the only thing that matters, and that is why people like Charlie Kirk are so afraid of them. They understand that without the privilege of their name, skin color, gender, or religion, they would have to compete with everyone on a level playing field on merit alone. And to them, that idea is absolutely terrifying.
Okay, no lies detected. And see, that's the thing that some of these raccoons don't seem to get. Charlie Kirk was absolutely racist and a wanted supremacist because he wanted his people to stay ahead of everybody else and didn't want the playing field to be level. He wanted to keep an advantage called white privilege. And by going against DEI, that was his ultimate goal. But little did he seem to know that DEI disproportionately benefits white women more so than black people. Okay? And that's just a fact. So, with that all being said, everyone please like and share. Thank you in advance. Now, that was a throwback video, but I brought that up. Again, I played that for those, just to reiterate the talking points and the rhetoric, the hate-fueled and filled rhetoric that Charlie Kirk was into. Okay? This young man who they've picked to replace him, Brylan Hollyhand, yeah, he sucks. Okay? He's definitely not going to have the effect. Okay? Because people are already looking at him with the whole side eye, and him welcoming people, greeting people from a private jet, wearing a Rolex and all that. Yeah, that definitely is going to breed contempt. Okay. People are going to be jealous. They're going to be hating on that. They're going to, and I'm sure coming off to them is arrogant. Some of them are already saying it. So they're not going to take well to him. And also Charlie Kirk's wife, Erica, she's not going to be able to lead it because they're not going to listen to her, the conservative men. Okay. So this is all a disaster as far as I'm concerned. With that all been said, DJ Big Six said, I bring that up because many of them spend a good chunk of time grifting, speaking down on LGBTQ, and then are caught allegedly doing LGBTQ things. Yes, this is absolutely true, beloved. Yeah, you're absolutely right. They do go in and, on LGBTQ, and then they're doing the same thing. But, that's usually the case with people that are homophobic. That's usually why they talk so down on gay people, because they're secretly in the closet. Okay, so thank you for your insight into the topic and your contribution to the channel. Peace, love, and blessings. Okay, so we're about to be out of here. I'm going to show you all one more video, two more videos, and then we're out. This is somebody going in on Megyn Kelly. I forgot to show earlier.
He was just this affable guy, this slick snake that was wearing good suits. And, I was so turned on. That's my impression of Megyn Kelly. Megyn Kelly, girl, come here. I know it. You got a crush on Barack Obama. I knew it. The way you was describing him, girl, you didn't want to say slick. You want to say he was this sexy-ass African-American, well-dressed and can wear a suit, and he's so smart. You want to push Michelle over. Or you probably want her to watch. Girl, you want to fuck Obama. Just say it. This is a safe place. I know. You keep that man on your mind. That man ain't got nothing to do with anything that's going on. But you found a way to incorporate him because he's always on your mind. He's always on your mind. Megyn Kelly, girl, shut the fuck up. You got a crush on Barack Obama. And you just can't believe that you are so attracted to this black man who you claim you hate. Girl, you be at home listening to Obama speeches in your podcast, just diddling yourself into a coma, damn nearly, allegedly. You got a crush on Barack Obama. I know it, because he was just this slickster with this language and suits. You want to say he was this fine-ass nigga with this suit on, and girl, I just can't take it. He's always on your mind. You got crushed. Just say you want fuck.
I'm sorry, but I believe that's absolutely what the case is. Okay, I believe that's what the case is. Now, with that all being said, let me give you all your Diddy update. The judge has not come out yet, to my knowledge. Judge Aaron Subramanian, he said that he would quickly decide Diddy's fate, but he hasn't come out and said anything yet. But this is what people who were actually there in court last week, this is what they said.
Diddy update, I got a special guest with me.
Hey y'all, Lorna Rosa here.
So today's hearing, defense is challenging the verdict, saying that under the law, there just wasn't enough evidence presented for a jury to convict Diddy of the Mann Act charge. Now, the headline moment came at the end of the hearing. The judge asked either side, do you have anything else left to say? And Diddy's lawyer, Alexandra Shapiro, who's very reserved, muted, speaks in a judicial tone, doesn't just throw around words like that. Well, at that moment, she didn't hold back, and she said, this is an embarrassment to the United States of America. Lauren, what did you think when you heard that?
I wasn't for sure in the beginning, but after now, after some thought, I can't disagree with her.
What's left in this case, right? There is no sex trafficking. There is no coercion. There is no fraud. The only charge here is that 3 consenting adults went to a hotel and had a threesome, or 2 of them had sex in one watch. Why are we here is essentially the defense's point. Lauren, what were your other thoughts coming out of today?
I think some of the thoughts coming out of today were the prosecution is going to have to do a really good job of providing other cases that show that because Diddy did not benefit financially, he should be held in the way that he's being held and everything. That they really have to make this make sense at this point if they want the sentence to stick that they want.
Look, the prosecution is continuing to bring out the same stuff. After Alexandra Shapiro, Diddy's lawyer, gave her statement about this is an embarrassment, prosecution came back and their point was, but Judge, he was hitting. Judge, he was kicking. Judge, there was drugs. That's not what the Mann Act is about. The Mann Act is about transportation to engage in prostitution. The reason why I think Shapiro was saying it was an embarrassment, the reason why folks around this courtroom are thinking, what are we all doing here? 3 consenting adults go have sex in a hotel? What are we doing here?
Okay, I agree. What are we doing here? Okay, because Shapiro made excellent points. She made very excellent points. So, we'll see how this all pans out. I know some people are hoping that Diddy doesn't get out because that will just ruin their rep with all the lies that they previously told. Okay, and now they ask, was I lying or did the jury get it wrong? Well, beloved, if you really want to know the truth, you got it wrong. Okay, and you lied. All right, not the jury. You got it wrong and you lied. Okay, because the verdict isn't the only thing that you got wrong. Okay, you got a whole lot wrong. All right, so with that all being said, Mel said the judge does not like Diddy. No, I don't think he will. But at the end of the day, I also think that now that this is all, getting down to the wire, I really wouldn't think that the judge would want to be seen and viewed as being racist. Okay, so we'll see how it all turns out. Okay, so before we go, I'm going to leave you all with this last video. All right, and then I'm out of here. Now, I may come back later, specifically if there's some updates to anything like that David case, okay, the Ramika Blackman case. If anything pertaining to that comes up, or Trump does something foolish, I think I'm coming back anyway to go in on Trump. I just have to. It just wouldn't be me if I didn't, right? And for those of you who missed the broadcast yesterday, for the members only, the true crime, please make sure you go back and check that out also, as well as the broadcast that I did on yesterday. Okay?
I have a question for Black Americans. I'm talking about the real Black Americans, not the ones that came somewhere else. Real ones that are eating mac and cheese, collard greens, the ones that were born in American hospitals, the ones with the accent, the ones that eat banana pudding, banana cobbler, not the ones eating fufu. I'm talking about real Black Americans. I love Black Americans and they've been supporting me ever since I moved to America. Now, my question is, what do you guys mean when they post something on a particular blogger's page like Shade Room, TMZ, Hollywood Unlocked, World Star? You guys go under the comment section and you ask questions like, okay, for example, if you go under the post where Kim Kardashian was fighting with Kourtney Kardashian, or a few days ago, I think it was yesterday, they posted a video of a lady called Bad Barbie. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it correctly. She was crying about her baby daddy, treating her poorly. And then when you go under the comment section, Black Americans will ask questions like, anyways, y'all seen the weather today? What y'all having for dinner tonight? I'ma go fold my laundry. Be safe though. Who y'all bringing with to the cookout? So nobody bringing plates to the cookout. What do y'all want from Chick-fil-A? Who making the macaroni? I just got here. I don't understand. The post was talking about someone who is crying about their baby daddy, or 2 celebrities were fighting. But then you guys don't talk about that. You don't mention their names. You completely say something. I don't know if I'm the only one that has been seeing these comments. Can someone please tell me, like, what does it mean? I like to be on Black people's trend, like Black American trend. Like, I love them so much. I just want to find out, like, why do you guys leave the actual post, like the fighting or the drama or what is going on? But you guys talk about mac and cheese, collard greens, and I'm going to go What do I want from Chick-fil-A? I'm going to go fold my laundry. I don't understand. Like,
Okay. Diddy said he is genuinely confused. He is hilarious, okay? Pretty Wing says, it means we're unbothered, sir, okay? I am so done. All right, so with that all being said, listen, I thought you all would find that amusing because I sure did. He cracks me up all the time, okay? Pretty Wing said, poor guy. Anyway, listen, I love you all to life. I hope you all enjoy the rest of this beautiful day. Hold on. OG Patrice said, Queen, did you hear about the mass shooting? 3 mass shootings, Michigan, Texas, and North Carolina over the weekend. The one in Eagle Pass, Texas, was a black man. No, I sure didn't, honey. I'll look into it. Thank you for that tidbit of information. Okay, Brandon said, reminds me of the Black Jeopardy. Okay, so listen, I love you all to life. Listen, I hope you enjoy the rest of this beautiful day. I'll be back later, probably around 6:30. Okay, until then, each one teach one. That's how we grow and thrive. Do something productive, constructive, but never destructive. And always remember, beloveds, to keep the Most High first in your lives. Okay? And make sure you double check to make sure you're still subscribed to the Queen's channel. Until next time, peace.
Gold all in my skin, God all in my blood, kings all in my circle. You touch one of mine and you're done. They show no love for the queen. Why you hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans? I got dreams like King Luther, shed blood like Kunta. You ain't helping my people, I ain't got nothing to say to ya. I want all the smoke like hookah. Talking reparations, America won't be great until they give us compensation. I'm like, I'm the hottest right now. See a bunch of lames out here trying to jock on my style. They be doing too much. I'm the queen, it's too easy. It's like they all at Popeyes, how they be talking so greasy. I just sit back and laugh while these haters get madder. So nefarious how they don't want my pockets with cheddar. I tell them they can do better. These snakes in the grass can leave a bite on your ass, cause y'all be trusting too fast. I got my foot on the gas, other one on they necks. Dropping receipts on haters, you better show some respect. I'm never facing regrets, we only facing the threats. Running through every challenge like a relay, break no sweat. It's a cold game, so I got that blanket with me. Now that my people awaken, ain't no going to sleep. I do not play by my piece, this time I'm playing for keeps. You talking slick, but when I see you like them ends, we gon' meet. And I got gold all in my skin, God all in my blood, kings all in my circle. You touch one of mine and you done. They show no love for the queen. Why they hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans and I got gold all in my skin, God all in my blood, kings all in my circle. You touch one of mine and you done. They show no love for the queen. Why they hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans and I got